Hello students, let's continue our chapter 9, Forest and Wildlife Resources. We have already studied about forest, what is the meaning of deforestation. We studied about the classification of forests, impact of deforestation, measures to be taken, and after that we went to study about wildlife. We studied that what are the reasons for the wildlife to get extinction from the earth, or why wildlife is getting disappearing, decreasing from this earth. We saw what are the reasons for the destruction or how they have been destroyed from this earth. Then what measures should be taken to prevent the wildlife, to stop the destruction of the wildlife. After studying that, today as I told you, we are going to study about wildlife protection scheme. So please open your textbook and take page number 70. Let's continue. Wildlife protection scheme. Students, this is very important. You have to remember about the different projects that we are going to study today, because they are always asked in the exams for 2 marks. And therefore, pay attention. Some schemes are implemented in India to protect the wildlife. Under this scheme, some projects are started for those animal species which are in danger or which are likely to be extinct in near future. Let us know about some of these projects in brief. First and foremost, we are going to study about the tiger project. Okay, students, I told you it is asked for the 2 marks in the exam. So let's pay attention. As per one estimate, there were no more than 40,000 tigers in India in the beginning of 20th century. Due to unrestricted illegal hunting and deforestation, this was a big danger for the existence of tigers. In such circumstances, this project to save tigers was started in 1971. Underline, the project was started in 1971. Under the project, a series of steps were taken to keep their natural habitat protected and to maintain ecological balance at national level. Till now, this project is implemented in about 44 regions. So students, this is about the tiger projects. What are we seeing here? That as per one estimate, there were more than 40,000 tigers in India in the beginning of 20th century. So students, in the beginning of 20th century, there were 40,000, almost 40,000 or more than 40,000 tigers were there. But then what happened? Due to unrestricted illegal hunting and deforestation, there was a big danger. Big danger for what? We already studied about the hunting, we studied about deforestation, how they lose their habitats. And so therefore, it was a big danger for them, for their existence of the tiger. And in such circumstances, the government decided to save the tigers. And so, when was this project started? They started the project in 1971. Under this project, a series of steps were taken to keep their natural habitat protected and to maintain ecological balance at national level. So students, what steps it could be? Yesterday we studied about that, about the deforestation. We need to make the people aware that there should be restricted areas. Or in the wildlife, when we saw what measures could be taken, that the program should be arranged to bring the widespread awareness in the society. A study should be made about the effects of the fisheries, forest gathering, tourism. Also the measures to be taken to, when there is a fire in the forest or not, to douse the fire. And so students, these measures had been taken for different purposes. Until now, this project is implemented in 44 regions. So they are saying in 44 regions, this project of the tiger project, Save Tiger, has been implemented. So let's see then about the leopard, things to know. The things to know about the leopard and all. Students, I want you to read at home. But only the first box I will read. The next boxes, that is highlighted things, you will be reading for yourselves. Sometimes the questions are asked from there also. Now, the leopard. Leopard belongs to cat family. It holds smaller stature compared to lion and tiger. So, leopard is, compared to lion and tiger, it is smaller in size. It is found everywhere in India. It is also found in dark black color. So, the color of the leopard has been given. They are found in what type of colors? Dark black color. It is found in large number in the forest of Gujarat. It is found in the forest of Gujarat. It often comes to human settlements. People unknowingly call it cheetah also. So people make mistake between cheetah and leopard. But they are two different things. We will see how they are different things. Now, for you things to know about cheetah. Now what is that? It is totally extinct from the forest in India. Cheetahs are not to be seen in India. It's already disappeared from the forest of India. See students, now we will get to see only in the picture. Whereas the leopard, at least we get to see in the forest of Gujarat. So, cheetah is already out. Today, it is found in Africa in its natural habitat. So, in Africa, they have taken care to keep them in their habitat area. They have been in the forest. Then, in India, it is found in a captive state only. So, we do not see in India in the zoo, in the forest, but in the zoo, you will get to see it. So, that's the difference. Leopard, you can still see moving in their habitat places, and that is what? Forest. Whereas the cheetah, you will not get to see. Cheetah is found only in the zoo. In Africa, you get to see the cheetah. So students, this I explain you. This other highlighted box, I want you to read it for yourself. I will not be reading it for you. So, let's study about the elephant project. This project was started in 1992. Students, when did we start the tiger project? Tiger project started in 1971. Elephant project started in 1992. Its main objective was to provide the elephants protective in their natural habitats and to protect habitats and their migratory corridors. Today, there are about 26 protection zones for elephants in the country. After the implementation of this project, there has been an increase in the number of elephants in the forest. Besides, this project also works for the maintenance of domesticated elephants. So, see students, this is about the elephants. What is that? This project started only in 1992, and the main objective was to provide elephant protective, to keep the elephant protective where in their natural habitats, that is in their forest, and to protect habitats and their migratory corridors, wherever they have been migrating from one place to another place, to keep them safe. And there are about 26 protection zones for elephants in the country. In which country we are talking about, students? In India. So please underline, there are 26 protective zones. Then, after the implementation of this project, there has been an increase in the number of elephants. Number of elephants has been increased. Why? Because the measures have been taken. Besides this project also works for what? Maintenance of domesticated elephants. There are people who have the elephants, they keep them in their home for the different purposes of the works and all. And so students, that is another purpose. So, the next is Rhino project. So students, what is this Rhino project? Now, the project is created for the protection of one-horned rhino of India. So, this project is for what? Created for the protection of whom? One-horned rhino. Okay? And then, what is it? Where is it? In India it is created. And in India, most of the rhinos are found in Assam state. So, where are they? They are seen in the state of Assam. They are also found in less number in Sundarban of West Bengal. So Sundarban comes in West Bengal. Students remember, because it is asked in the map. You need to remember, we said that the leopards have been found in forest of Gujarat. So in the exams, when you are asked to mark, you will have to show it in the map. Therefore, you need to remember where they have been found. They have been found in the state of Assam. And where is the Sundarban? Sundarban is in the West Bengal. According to the strategy of Rhino Vision 2020, what is that? An increase in the number of rhino is targeted at 3,000. So, according to the vision, we want to increase the number up to 3,000. And then, what is that? Things to know. In things to know, they have given it to you. You will read it for yourself because it will give you more information. Look at the different pictures over here. They also have given you the crocodile project and the alligators. So see that the crocodile and alligator, there is a big difference. Okay. So these are the crocodile and alligators. Species are there. Have a look at the picture. Turn the page. So let's study about now alligators or the crocodiles and alligators project. The species of alligators which is found in fresh water was on the verge of extinction in the decade of 1970. The government of India took timely steps to start this project. So students, once the government of India realized that these alligators or crocodiles are disappearing from this earth, and that's the time they took steps to keep this species protective, because we have to save this all species. So when was it? In the decade of 1970, they realized. That is in 1970, they realized that the alligators are disappearing. And so this was taken steps. Vulture project. Vulture is the cleanliness worker of the nature. It eats the meat of dead animals. There are about 9 subspecies of vulture in India. Due to the unusual decrease in its number, this project was started in 2004. So students, what is that? Vulture project is what? There are vulture, you know that it is one of the workers, like cleanliness worker. It helps the nature to keep clean. And so there are about 9 subspecies of vulture. And what do? They eat the meat of the dead animals. And due to this, their decrease in the number, this project was started in 2004. Students, you will have to remember the dates when the projects have been taken up. Then let's study about the snow leopard. Snow leopard project. This species, which is found at an altitude of about 3,000 meters in Himalayas, lives in snow only. This project was started in 2000 with the purpose to increase the knowledge about snow leopard among the local people, so the people would be aware to protect it. So students, what is it? Just see that this species, which is found at the altitude of about 3,000 meters in Himalayas, lives in snow only. So the snow leopards you will get to see in Himalayas because they stay in the snow. And so therefore, what happened? In the higher altitude, this project started in 2000 with the purpose to increase the knowledge among the people about this leopard, so that they may protect this species. Besides this, other projects which are operational, including Kashmiri Hangul project, Red Panda project, Manipur Tamil project for the species special of deer found in Manipur, Ganga Dolphin project on Ganga Brahmaputra rivers, etc. So students, some of that red panda and all we yesterday saw. We also studied about the dolphins, how the life of dolphin has been in danger in river Ganga Brahmaputra. And so students, this leopard project, vulture project, crocodile and what we saw, they are all 2 marks questions can be asked in the exams. You need to write the dates properly. Okay? The years, which year it was taken up, how many species were there, or what was the target, into which area they have been found. Remember that. So after studying this, Today, let's continue with the sanctuaries, national parks and the bioreserve. Okay, so let's begin with that. So here, about the sanctuaries, national parks and bioreserve. Sanctuaries, national parks and bioreserves are established for the protection of wildlife. All these three words sound like synonyms, but there is some difference. Let us be familiar with them. Be familiar with what, student? Be familiar with the sanctuaries, national parks and bioreserves. So why are they? We saw that the different schemes have been taken. We need to take care of the what measures should be taken for the wildlife and all. So here's something we can see it over here. So what is that? Sanctuary. It can be asked for 2 marks or sometimes can be asked for 3 marks to write about bioreserve zones or the national park. Pay attention. Human activities are permitted with certain limit. We have already seen the other day also, I was telling you when we studied about the classification of forest and all over there. So over here what is that? Human activities are permitted within certain limits. There is certain area where the human beings can go. Otherwise, no, they are restricted because there can be dangerous animals because we want to save the species. Domesticated animals can be allowed to graze after due permission from the authorities. So if the permission has been granted by the authorities, then only animals, that is domesticated animals, such as the cows or the buffaloes or the goats and all, they can be taken there for grazing. Wildlife sanctuary is established for the protection of some species. The sanctuary can be established by the government after certain process. So students, why is this wildlife sanctuary has been established? To protect some species. And in order to protect them, we need to take government permission. And after some process, only we can establish this sanctuary. Now, look here. Periyar, Chandraprabha and Itanagaram, etc. are famous sanctuaries. So they have given the 3 famous sanctuaries names over here. That is Periyar, Chandraprabha and Itanagaram are the famous sanctuaries mentioned over here. You can just see the map over here. You have to remember this map. You need to study this where the wildlife sanctuary over here, look here. Why I want you to draw your attention, they have given the symbols over there. For wildlife, what they have used, for the bird sanctuary, what is there, and for the national park. Can you see that over here? What is this? This is for the wildlife. And what is that name? What is that name, students? Itanagaram. Itanagaram is over here. Remember. So similarly, they have asked about the Chandraprabha and Periyar. I want you to study this map. It is asked in the exam, board exam, your prelims and so on. Let's study about the national parks. Let's study about national parks. Compared to the sanctuary, this is more protected zone. More than one ecosystem included here. There is complete ban on animal grazing. It is not centered around one species as it is in the sanctuary. It is established through the coordination of state and central government. Kaziranga, Corbett, Velavadar, Marine National Park, Gir, Dachigam, etc. are important national parks. So see the difference. What is the difference? Sanctuaries, compared to the sanctuaries, the national parks are more protected. This is more protected zone. You cannot just easily get into. There is more than one ecosystem included here. Complete ban on animal grazing. Animals are not allowed. In the sanctuary we saw that there is certain area where human activities are permitted. But over here, animals completely they are banned. Domesticated animals cannot be allowed. Over there in sanctuaries can be allowed. But in national parks they cannot be allowed. It is not centered around one species as in the sanctuary. Here we have to take care of all the other species too. And with the coordination of the state and the central government, national parks have been established. They have given the names of Kaziranga, Corbett, Velavadar, Marine National Park, Gir, Tachigam, etc. important national parks. So you understood the difference between the sanctuary and the national parks? Let's study about bioreserves. Bioreserve zone. Now what do you understand by this bioreserve? How is it different from the sanctuaries and the national parks? So let's go to study about bioreserve zone. It is formed according to international norms. So bioreserve are formed according to international norms, international rules. Second point is that the purpose is to protect the physical and cultural diversity of any region. So what is the purpose? To protect the physical as well as the cultural diversity of this region, particular region that they are talking about. Besides all vegetation, insects and the land of that area, the lifestyle of the people living there also is protected. You got the meaning of this second one? When they are talking about the physical and cultural diversity, they mean they are explaining over here. Besides the species and the insects and the vegetation and all, they also focus on the human being, people living in that area. They also should be protected. What has been done? Special arrangements are created for research and training about bioreserves. So, special arrangements have been made and created for this research. In such proclaimed area, all external human movements are totally restricted. No human beings are allowed to go there at all. The average area of such zone is larger than 5,000 square kilometers. See how huge the area is. The area is 5,000 square kilometers. Nilgiri, Gulf of Mannar, Great Nicobar, Sundarban, Panchamadi, etc. are considered to be the important bioreserves of the nation. So underline this, remember them. They are Nilgiri, Gulf of Mannar, Great Nicobar, Sundarban, Panchamadi. So students, when I am reading these names, you need to remember where they are in this map. We already studied just now this Kaziranga and all. They are also in this map, and therefore I want you to learn this map, read this map, learn by heart. Okay? Then, the Run of Kutch of Gujarat was declared as a bioreserve zone in 2008. In 2008, Run of Kutch was declared as a bioreserve zone for the protection of the special environmental condition. There were special environmental conditions. Which conditions could be there? We'll study. But before that, now over here, just like to know, you see that in India, in India there are 18 bioprotection zones. That bioreserve protection zones are 18. Whereas in Gujarat we have 1. In India altogether we have 103 national parks. We have only 4 in Gujarat. In India altogether we have 531 sanctuaries. In Gujarat we have 23 sanctuaries. This is for us to know. You can write this also in your, you can include this in your answer. Then, so let's see that developmental process is inevitable. But along with it, it is necessary that we keep it in mind its ill effects on the entire life system while planning. Well, whenever one species is completely destroyed or is in danger, the result of the disturbances in the food chain are far-reaching. In food chain, every insect has a specific role. See student, every insect on this earth, only creature created by God, has the role to play in the life. So it is see that if a life is lost, the entire structure experiences disturbance. If one species is removed, the natural system breaks down in the long run. So students, when the particular species, or even one small species also is completely destroyed, it is in danger, then the whole cycle of the nature is getting disturbed. These effects reach man very late, hence we are not aware of it. Those environmental dangers which are following are the results of carelessness developed before decades. If we have planned development, there will not be any problem. If we have planned development, then there won't be any problem. Friendly approach with the environment is the need of present day. Friendly nature. The moment you see the animals or any bird, just don't try to kill it. Just don't try to hunt that animal. Don't try to chase that. Let it come. The jungle, the forest is their area. Let them move there. If you allow them, then they will also help us to maintain the nature. And similarly, students, it is not only with the animal species, but it is with the birds as well as the forest and the plants too. So students, over here, what I want once again to bring it to your notice is that the question about this, which we saw just now, about the sanctuaries, national park and bioreserve. If all three are told to write, then it will be 4-mark question. But normally they ask you to write about 3 marks question, that is about the bioreserve zone and national park, or could be sanctuary 2 marks question. You have to mention all this, okay, this as well as over here. Once again, learn this map, see the symbols that they have been using. There are also 2 more boxes for you. They have just told you things to know. They have given you about the Henatoro and about the Dugang over here. Okay. So with these students, we have finished this chapter. You have to answer these questions. Write them in your book. Have a good day.